Interesting. Okay. Well, in their 2-minute report for the Grizzlies-Warriors Game 2, NBA said officials missed a palming violation on Ja Morant with 30 seconds left and Memphis leading by 1. Shannon, are you surprised the NBA admitted this?
No, they don't really have a choice, Skip. It's all over the internet how Ja had the ball like he was on an and one tour. And Skip, my thing is that if it's a violation, the timing of the game should not matter. If it's a palming call it, whether it's 30 seconds in the game or 30 seconds left in the game or the first 30 seconds of the game. He palmed the ball. And it was the difference because they were only up 1. And so him palming the ball, they got that bucket there that put him up 3. So absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah, he palmed the ball.
You watch the NBA every night. Almost every possession I watch in every single regular season game, somebody palms it because they don't call palming anymore.
They call it more this year than they've ever called it. They call it.
Did they? Because I never saw it called.
Skip, remember on I think the play before they got cleared for traveling.
Okay, but that was a clear travel. He just shuffled. He didn't dribble. He ran with the ball before he shot it. And he didn't dribble.
Skip, you can't have the ball like the professor in hot sauce.
But okay, what do you always say? They want offense. Well, that's how you get offense. is that you palm the ball, right? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, there's no traveling and there's no palming. So I was shocked they would admit it because you could have called palming on 5 other plays before that.
Skip, that was a palm, though, Skip. You know that.
Okay, but they don't call it anymore.
Yeah, they should call it.
Okay, but what ref in that building, in that arena, in that town, at that moment is going to call palming?
Me.
Nobody. Yeah, because you want me to lose with my Memphis Grizzlies.
That's the call right there.
All right, guys, we're out of time. That's going to do it for us today. But stick around because the Herd is up next, and we'll see. He's going to require 3 to 4 months of rehab after undergoing back surgery for pain in a herniated disc. Remember, Simmons never played for Brooklyn after being acquired in a trade for James Harden this spring. But sources expect him to be ready, fully recovered for training camp in the fall. Shannon, break this down for us. What do you think all this means?
2 things can be true. He was dealing with something mentally. He was dealing with something physically. Skip, how the hell they expect the man to play last week when he's having back surgery this week?
What was that all about?
Thank you. Was
that just coming from the team?
The team put pressure.
Force him?
Yes. Put pressure on him. Because there's no possible way this man could have played a game if he's going to have back surgery a week later. No possible way. It's like, oh, yeah, he's shown improvement. Yeah, game 3 or 4, stop. He needs to get right mentally because I believe that physically the back surgery skill will alleviate a lot of the pain physically. But it doesn't matter how healthy his back is. It doesn't matter about anything else other than this. Once he gets that right, get his mindset, so you know what? I'm going to attack this rehab process. I'm going to come back better, stronger, faster than I was. I'm going to work on my shot. I'm going to work on my game, get back in that space. He'll be fine. But this notion that, oh, nah, Ben's just weak. No. Trust me. Skip, back surgery is the last resort. Normally, people, they try to give you, okay, let's try rehab, let's try physical therapy, let's see how that works out, and we can go from there. We'll check back with you in a week or 2. When people start having surgery, that's the last resort.
I agree.
So for this man
and it often doesn't work out. Go ahead.
And you know how backs are. I don't know if anybody's ever had a bad back. I've had a bad back, had a couple of times. I've had where I had to get epidurals.
Likewise.
If he had a herniated disc, there was no possible way. I don't care. Nobody's playing with no herniated disc in their back for no game of basketball because it requires you to be in a chair to move side to side. And when you got that bad back, man, you stiff for the fence post. So I believe Ben had a lot of things going on. Hopefully this will alleviate the physical, but Skip, we still got to get past that mental part.
First question is, how exactly did he herniate a disc? He's not even been playing basketball for a year. I don't know what happened. Was he lifting weight wrong or something, or picked up something at home? Sometimes you can pick up your dog wrong, and that's the end of that. Okay. When I first heard this news, I was pretty surprised by it, but it was a hopeful development to me because it did indicate there was some issue that was actually going on, because
people thought the man was faking.
Well, there was a story a week ago that indicated that even he had indicated to the Nets in a private meeting that the mental issue was triggering the back issue.
Right.
Well, that's called psychosomatic,
Right.
where your mental problem, your issues are actually manifesting themselves in some sort of physical injury that isn't really there.
Right.
It's triggering pain that really doesn't exist.
Right.
Well, this exists. If you got a microdiscectomy, Tiger's had a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's no fun. It's no small thing, but they've gotten so good at it that they can usually go in. It's got a bump in it. It's like a tire with a bump in it, and you got to puncture the bump and smooth it off so that it's not hitting into your nerves anymore.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes this surgery, most of the time, I would say, can be moderately successful. Moderately successful.
Sometimes them backs, man, that thing have that pain going down your leg get numb. You can't sit. Yeah, you can't sit down. You can't stand up. There is no position that's comfortable.
You can't stand it. You just can't stand it.
Yes.
It's horrendous.
Yes.
It's the worst pain on earth to me. I guess teeth pain can be pretty bad.
Yeah, that toothache.
All right. The point is, hopefully for him, if he gets the back fixed, it will help him fix the mental. And yet, in the end, it's all about the mental, and I can't even speak to it because I have no idea what's going on with the mental.
Right.
But at least because he's only 25 years of age, and I keep saying he's 25 going on 23 because he just hasn't played a lot of basketball. He missed his first year, and now he's missed all another year.
Right.
He's still only 25.
Correct.
He's a fairly fresh 25.
Right.
I still like the Nets' chances of winning this trade more than the Sixers' chances because, once again, last night, we watched or tried to watch James Harden hide from pressure, hide from the basketball, and he took 15 shots, which was up a little bit from the first game. And he did score 20 points, but if you look at the fourth quarter box, when they had a chance to make a run, he was 0 for 3 in the fourth quarter and scored 2 points.
Yeah,
well, my biggest takeaway from watching James Harden last night was Tyrese Maxey. If I hadn't known better, I would say Maxey is more of the max player than James Harden. Is he not quicker than James? Is he not more explosive than James? Does he not fight harder and play harder than James? Yep.
You're not winning a game when James Harden is your third leading scorer and he's supposed to be your second best player. But back to this, Skip. Until Ben is fully healthy, that's the only way that we can properly evaluate this trade. It's hard to say, well, the Nets have won the trade. What if Ben Simmons doesn't play again?
I don't know. There's a chance he won't play.
Exactly.
I agree.
So he, excuse me. But Skip, he's at a crossroad in his career, though. He's going to have to, at some point in time, he's going to have to get back on the floor. He's going to have to get over whatever he needs to get over. And then we can properly and fully evaluate, okay, Skip, you're right, Brooklyn won the trade. Or, I don't know, Skip, because neither one of them has lived up to what we thought they were going to be for the other team.
No, I agree. So now James Harden is going to have to go, quote unquote, home to Philly. And from our friend Chris Haynes' report on TNT last night, Joel was telling him, Joel Embiid, that he couldn't even look at his phone because the light was too bright because he's had a concussion.
Right.
You've been through this, right?
I had a fracture. Now, they said I got surgery like a week after mine. I had what they call, Skip, a complete orbital blowout. It was the doctor described it as me as like, Shannon, if you were in a bar fight and somebody kicked you in your eye with a boot. My whole wall was completely gone. My eye had dropped like 3 millimeters. So I don't know.
It was friendly fire from your own
from Steve Marks Lorel. I'm blocking down. I'm doubling on a combo block with the tackle. He's pulling around. And I got, I had a wide receiver face mask that I kept. And in the process of him pulling around, his fist goes right through my face mask, hits me right in my eye, and blow my eye socket out.
Did you know you were that hurt immediately?
I knew it immediately. Okay. It felt like my face exploded. I had injury, Skip. I knew immediately. When I broke my collarbone, Steve Antonopoulos came on the field, He's like, what's wrong, Sharpie? I said, I broke my collarbone. He stuck his hand up under my pad. He felt the bump. Yep. He's like, Sharpie, what's wrong? I said, it ain't good.
Okay, so from what you know about the orbital fracture, can Joel play in game 3 or 4? You're dubious and doubtful about that one, right?
I am, Skip, but I don't know if he has a blowout. Maybe he just has a small crack in it. You put a mask on. But, Skip, you know how to, Skip, we going for balls. Heads collide. I couldn't play. They wouldn't let me risk it, even though I had a helmet on. I had to wear a shield for the entire year. the following year.
Yep.
It's a very serious injury. But like I said, I don't know to the extent. I had a complete orbital blowout. Maybe he just has a small crack in his. But